Today, we're reacting to The Lady of Heaven, directed by Eli King and starring Lucas Bond as Jamal, Dennis Black as Bibi. There's also Ray Fearon, Christopher and Mark Anthony Brighton, and a mix of cast. There's so many people, too many to mention. But the title itself, it sounds kind of alluring to me. How about you? Well, The Lady of Heaven follows the heart-wrenching journey of Hazrat Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet Muhammad. Separated by 1400 years, an Iraqi child in the midst of a war-torn country learns the importance and power of patience. After losing his mum, the child finds himself a new home where his loving grandmother narrates the historical story of the lady and how her suffering as the first victim of terrorism spun out of control in the 21st century.
Wow.
Having said all of that, let's take a look at this trailer and see what it's all about.
The world is in shock as a group of terrorists has taken control of large areas of Syria and Iraq.
The world can be a cruel and dangerous place. Remember, even if you're afraid, be strong. Your loving mother, Fatima.
Did your mother ever tell you the story of the Lady of Heaven? She was very special. Daughter to the Prophet Muhammad.
My time is near. And afterwards, my lovely Fatima, you will face many trials.
With my father no longer here to lead us, evil is with those who will extinguish the light of truth.
You're gonna let a woman tell us what to do? We will burn her out!
Very biblical.
God will judge all of you.
This world has become a breeding ground of violence. Shadow will be cast across many generations to come.
Wow. Discover the untold story.
It said some people are so full of faith. They give strength to everyone around them.
The greatest thing in this life and the hereafter is the spreading of peace in the world.
Lady Fatima's goodness inspired people to stand up, no matter what the cost. Her legacy lives on.
That's interesting. You know what? I used to watch when I was younger. I used to watch those old movies about Moses and Jesus and all these different old movies. Cause I always used to just watch old movies in general when I was younger, and I was always interested in them. And because we grew up in a Christian household when I was younger, granny, great gran, and all that. So it's interesting to watch this trailer, and I would like to know, where did they research it? Did they research it from the Quran, or where did they get the information from with that? I'll be interested in that, and the viewers can tell us as well. So it looks interesting, and it's interesting how they're putting those two stuff together from the young child in the Iraq war, and then that with Lady Fatima in the past. So I'll be interested in how they put those two together and how they relate to each other. So it looks interesting.
The intrigue is definitely there. As Andre said, the whole biblical sense as to whether, her Fatima, whether I'm guessing because she was the daughter of Muhammad, they were saying in the trailer there. So I'm guessing that is sort of like the connection to the past. But one thing I couldn't quite work out when watching it is it seemed to have a bit of a contrast between the present and the past. And that was, for me, sort of like watching it where you could see the boy's grandmother, I'm guessing it was, telling him a story about the past. And I couldn't quite work out, was it one of those films where we're watching the film based on the past, and then every now and again it goes to the storytelling to the little boy, but then I was seeing scenes of present day where you had people shooting up buildings and stuff. So that threw me off a little bit, but that was still something that was keeping me interested in what was going on. So for me, I hope this one does end up on, I don't know, Amazon or Netflix. I'm not sure it's going to be on, so that I can have a watch to sort of learn more about the story and just sort of find out whether it's actually a good film or not, because I think there's something there. And
it's a British director as well. And there's a few British actors as well. Yeah, so that's the interesting part as well. I felt this kind of humbled me. Correct me if I'm wrong, it humbled everybody else as well, because we were silent and respectful through the trailer. That was our reaction. I didn't hear anybody say anything, and my volume wasn't low, but we didn't say anything. We just soaked in what was going on. And I think that is so powerful to immerse yourself in it. And it had my mind just racing. And like you said, it was like the past to the present, what was happening, and the links formed between the families as well. And then the shocking of what's happening in present in comparison to what happened in the past as the story is being narrated. And I thought it was powerful, powerful enough to make me, like I said, just feel humbled and just quiet. And I just felt it all. I just felt that emotion.
Yeah, to go back in terms of me being quiet, like I was quiet because I was interested in terms of once they mentioned the Prophet Muhammad, I was interested in the story they're going to tell it, and if they made sure they researched it properly, because I know how people can be with their religion. Like, you can't just say, right, this is the story about the Prophet Muhammad, and just there you go, research it, make sure it's proper. Make sure you come proper with that stuff. So that's why I was quiet. I wanted to see what they were saying with it. So I was interested to watch it, to see, and to get other people's reactions to it as well, just to see what happens. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I pretty much echo what Andre was saying there. There was definitely interest once I heard, the daughter of Muhammad. I was like, oh, where are they going with this? What's it all about?
I wonder if it's a story that's ever been told before as well. And this director, it's Eli King. He hasn't really directed a lot, but he starred in a few movies as well. So it'd be interesting to see his spin on this. And it was written by the Sheikh Al-Habib. I felt a sense of calm. And then there was that kind of fire in me where they had the war and what was going on and what is going on today. The cinematography suggested war, peace. Who's going to win? What's going to win?
I did like that scene of, I'm guessing it was angels or something that was rising from like one of the scenes that I saw, like, I don't know if it was wings, something in white that was sort of flying. I don't know if you lot saw that as well. Did you
I think I know what you're saying. Yeah, something spiritual, something.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I couldn't quite work out what that was. But again, that was just another thing, I suppose, that was intriguing as well.
That's how I would talk about it. I mean, what do you guys think? Are we saying what it is that we're seeing? Are you seeing what we're seeing? Do you feel as humble as we're feeling, or I'm feeling? Or do you feel just fired up and, I can't wait to watch this? Oh, did it tell the true story? Or is it going to be something that's fabricated? This is something to watch, and I definitely will be watching it. I'll definitely be watching it. And I think a lot of people are going to just have their own personal opinions. Actually, we should have had P here. to give his own, because he would have had something to say about it. But it's a good thing he's not here. Instead, you got the three amigos. Anyway, remember, subscribe, share, like,